Hey, this is Mr. Hansen. We're looking at the divisibility rules for 8 and 4. So here's your scenario. You've got 4 boys who want to split up baseball cards evenly among themselves. They have 712 cards. And the question is, can they do it? So let's take a look at 712 and rewrite it a little differently. I'm going to put 7 100s. So 7 times 100 plus 12. So we kind of broke this up into two parts. We have the 7 100s and the 12. Well, let's look at 100. And does 100 divide evenly? Does 4 divide into 100 evenly? Does 100 divide up into 4 evenly? Is 4 divisible by 100? And the answer is yes. So we know that you'd have 25 there. Now, if there were 700s, 4 would divide up evenly 7 times. So this whole part of this expression here is divisible by 4. So all we need to know is this part of the expression divisible by 4. And 12 divided by 4 is 3, so it does work. So 712 happens to be divisible by 4 exactly. Okay, you might be asking a question like, what will this? So basically, we just have to look at the last two digits. And your question might be, does this work if the number is bigger, if it's in the thousands or 10,000s? Let's take a look at that. So let's go 4,816. Okay, so we're going to break this down to 4 times 1,000 plus 8 times 100 plus 16. So we already know here that this group is divisible by 4, that 800, because 100 is divisible by 4, and if there's just 8 of them, it'd just be divisible by 4 8 times. What about this group here? I'm going to break it down a little bit more. I'm going to rewrite it. 4 times 10 times 100. So 10 times 100 is 1,000. So again, we have that 100 in there, and we know that's divisible by 4, and then really we just have 40 hundreds is what we're saying. So that's all divisible by 4 as well. So the only question is the 16 divisible by 4? And it is. So if you were to put this in your calculator, 4,816 divided by 4, you would end up with a number that has no decimal places, a whole number. All right, this line of reasoning can go on to the 10,000s place, the 100,000s place, and so on and on and on forever. So it works for any number. Let's take a look at the divisibility rule for 8 now. I'm going to write a number up here, 1712. And 8, it'd be nice if 8 went into 100 like 4 does, but it doesn't. But 8 does go into 1,000, so I'm just going to do that down here. 8 goes into 1,000. Goes into 10 once. It goes into 20 twice. And it goes into 45 times. So 8 goes into 1,000 125 times. It's divisible by 1,000. So let's try and simplify this a little bit to see if it's divisible by 8. I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to put, and I'm actually going to put 8,712. So we have 8,000s plus 712. And we know that 8 is divisible, or 1,000 is divisible by 8. So if you had 8 of them, they'd all be divisible by 8 too. So we really don't have to worry so much about this part here. It's taken care of for us. But we do want to look at this part here. Does 8 go into 712? So this takes a little bit of long division maybe, or some work in your head. 8 times 8 is 64. 11 take away 4 is 7. 8 times 9 is 72. So yes, it is. This number is divisible by 8. Okay, what if you had a much larger number like 149,776? Is this number divisible by 8? Well, if we're using the rule, we just have to look at these last 3 instead of all 6 of them. to see if it's divisible by 8, because this is 9 thousandths, this is 40 thousandths, and this is 100 thousandths there. So these are all groups of 1,000. You could think of all of these numbers as groups of 1,000 there. And 1,000 is divisible by 8. So let's just go 8 into 776 and see what we get. 8 times 9 is 72. And 8 times 7 is 56. So it would be divisible by 8. Hope this helps out. Take care and have a nice day.